And how's it going, guys? Josh Olufemii here, live in LA, and I'm going to teach you how to edit in Adobe Premiere Pro in 10 minutes. The reason why I'm doing this in 10 minutes is not everyone wants to learn all the ins and outs of Premiere Pro the way I do. But if you actually want to learn all the ins and outs of Premiere Pro, I'm actually creating a new free masterclass that's coming out soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to edit a video really quickly using pre-made templates like the ones you see here. Feel free to watch this video the first time all the way to the end. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a code that you can actually use in the description below to get the project file for free. After that, feel free to watch the video again and follow along with me using the project file that you just downloaded. All right, let's jump in. Open Premiere Pro, click New Project, name the project. Click Browse and pick a location to save the project. Click OK. Click on the editing workspace. Why? Because we want to video edit. Premiere Pro is separated into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is the project bin. Double click on it to import media. You can import media in Premiere from your computer as individual clips or as entire folders. Let's import this folder. Let's also import this audio folder. Double click on the footage and let's see it pop up in Quadrant 2. This is called the source window. It's here that we can actually scrub through any video or audio clips. Now it's time to edit. We're going to do that in Quadrant 4 called the timeline window. Drag a clip from the project window into the timeline window. And look, a sequence is created. This sequence is where all of the editing takes place. This sequence was made with settings that match the settings of the initial clip that you dragged into it. Check this out, the clip I dragged into it has a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and a frame rate of 23.976 frames per second. Now, will the sequence have the same settings as the clip? Let's find out. Check it out, go to sequence, then go to sequence settings. And check out resolution, check, 1920 by 1080, frame rate, 23.976, check. And guess what, you can change these settings in your sequence at any time. Now, if you ever want to just drag a portion of the clip into the sequence, you can actually cut it up in the source window, which of course is Quadrant 2. Double click on the clip and scrub through it again using the mini timeline and playhead. These 2 buttons are called in and out points. Set the in point where you want your clip to begin and the out point where you want it to end. You can then drag the clip from your source window to your sequence in the timeline window and it will show up automatically cut for you. Quick break, guys, do me a favor and just caress the like button. Also, leave me a comment down below with your company's Instagram handle and which city you're based out of. Let's keep going. The 4th quadrant is called the program window. It's a visual representation of what the playhead is rolling over in any given sequence in the timeline window. And random fact, every sequence is represented by a weird little icon in the project window. Check it out here. Premiere automatically named this sequence B-roll 1 after the name of the first clip that I just brought into it. But that's a bit repetitive. Let's change the sequence name to my first project, just to be cute. Now click on the clip in the sequence and now go back up to Quadrant 2 and head over to the Effects Controls tab. This is where you can change the position, scale, rotation, opacity, and any other effect that you wish to add onto the clip. Check this out, I'm going to actually drag this vertical clip that someone shot on their iPhone into my horizontal 1920 by 1080 timeline. Just some side advice, never shoot vertical. Here's how you can fix this ugly vertical footage that doesn't even fit in the frame correctly so you can see the transparent checkered background behind it. So ugly. Go to scale and zoom in on the clip. Then use the position parameters and adjust it accordingly. Each of these parameters can be animated using keyframes. Let's switch it up and go to this clip. Click on the stopwatch next to scale and position and use the mini timeline that represents the entire length of the clip that you're currently clicked on to position the playhead to a specific point in the clip. Set the scale to say 188. And adjust the position so that my bro is in the middle of the frame. Keyframes will automatically be created at that specific point on the clip. Skip ahead a little bit and here's a trick. Click on the reset parameter buttons to set the new keyframe parameters back to the default coordinates. For scale, it's back at like 100, and for position, it's right back at the center. Now let's go over the toolbar. The selection tool is what you'll be using most of the time. You can use this to move clips around and to click on tabs and buttons. The blade tool allows you to cut clips. Another way to cut clips is you can actually hover over the edge of the clip and crop them from the side. The type tool can allow you to create text. Text appears as another video clip over your other clips in the sequence, as well as actual text in your program window. Now quickly, I'm going to teach you how to add a transition between clips. Bring the clip together, right-click where they touch, and click Apply Default Transitions. Check out how it now creates a smooth transition between the 2 clips. I'll now teach you how to fade into a clip. Again, hover over the edge of the clip. Now check out this cool fade in. Going back to the timeline is actually separated into two sections: the video tracks and the audio tracks. It's interesting, many video clips like this one actually have audio tracks attached to them. If you ever need to break them apart, simply highlight both of them, right click, and click unlink. You can also blind any video track that you want by clicking on the I button right next to the track. This makes the track invisible. As far as audio tracks go, you can actually mute any audio track that you'd like by clicking on the M button right next to the track. Now I'm actually going to edit a video that I shot of my friend talking about basketball. Check this out, I'm now dragging a bunch of clips into the sequence. I'm now editing the initial clips of him speaking. Notice they have both video and audio. I call this the primary footage. Now I'm cutting the secondary footage of Corey actually playing basketball. I'm overlaying some of the secondary clips over the primary clips. Now watch me add an opening title at the beginning using the type tool. I'll also add an opening fade in transition to the front, and voila, let's take a look.
A great basketball player is created through their steadfast commitment to dominance. This is the stuff I live for.
So guys, we're about 5 minutes in, and I promised to teach you Premiere in 10 minutes. Right now, you're actually in pretty good shape. I've officially taught you the basics. But now I want to just add a few garnishes to the video and really bring it to life. It's here where I teach you how to incorporate pre-made templates into your workflow to speed up the process using, you guessed it, Envato elements. Immediately, I'm thinking that this video needs some background music, some lower thirds maybe, and then lastly, some stock footage. Instead of teaching you how to make music, I can't do that. Teaching you how to create lower thirds in After Effects, I doubt, at least in this moment, that you'd want to even sit through that. Or lastly, teaching you how to create professional stock footage, I'm going to show you how you can use Envato elements to download all this stuff from the millions of items that they have in their digital library. First, click on the link below to get a really dope discount through the channel. Envato would basically like to convince you to keep going on month to month with them, so they're offering the first month for only $9. After that, it's like just $33 a month. But look what you actually get. It's a library full of millions of items. I've literally been paying $33 a month with Envato for like 4 to 5 years, even before we started doing collabs with them on the channel. I've downloaded probably thousands of assets from Envato elements, with each of those assets being worth individually more than that $33 per month fee. Like say this cool text pack. I often think if I wasn't buying these assets in a subscription service, if I had to actually buy them individually, I'd be paying like hundreds and hundreds of dollars like every day probably, if I had to count all the assets that I download, again, for only that one $33 price every month from Envato elements. So basically I've gotten my money back over and over. Okay, so add done, let's keep going. Let's download this music track, this lower third, and this stock footage from Envato elements. Now I'm gonna bring all these into Premiere and I'm gonna add it into my edit. All right, time to add the music down here. One last thing I don't know if I went over is if you actually click on any audio, just like video, you can go into effect controls and control the level of that audio. You can make it either quieter or louder. As you can see here, I actually wanted to cut the audio and make it quieter underneath when Corey is talking. So I click on this audio that I cut, and then I'm going to bring the level down from 0 down to say -23. Let's bring in this lower third. It's actually a Mogart. To bring this in, I go to Window, I make sure that my Essential Graphics tab is checked. Then I go to the Essential Graphics tab, and then I go to Browse, and then I click Install Motion Graphics Template in the bottom corner. I then find the Mogart Motion Graphics template in the file that I just downloaded from Envato Elements. This is my lower third. It then shows up in my Essential Graphics folder, and then I just drag it into my sequence. If you go to the Edit tab, you can edit all the parameters to your heart's content. And I think I'll slap this stock footage right here. And voila, let's have a look.
A great basketball player is created through their steadfast commitment to dominance. This is the stuff I live for.
Now guys, it's time to export. All you gotta do is you got to set your in and out points in your timeline window. You can either use these buttons as your in point and your out point, or you can use I and O on your keyboard. Place your in point at the beginning of the project, and place your out point at the end of the project. This is telling Premiere the area in your sequence that you want to export. Then you're going to go to File, and then go to Export Media. After that, you're going to choose the format or the codec that you want to export. 99% of the time, you're going to be wanting to export H.264. So let's click that. You're then going to go over to the blue, click on the blue, and this is where you're going to actually choose the name of your exported video file, as well as the place where that exported video file is going to be placed after the export is done. Let's place it on the desktop for now and name the file My First Project. Let's click Save. Now we're going to click Export. If we go over to our desktop now, we can see the file that we just exported.
A great basketball player is created through their steadfast commitment to dominance. This is the stuff I live for.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and congrats on learning Premiere Pro, and I hope this has been a beautiful beginning to your video editing journey. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember to keep it chill.